guys, don't forget, before we get into our sneak peek, like, subscribe to the Crime Chat, ring the bell, or this guy's gonna come after you.
Previously on Crime Chat, let's get into the timeless allure of pinups, the glamour, the culture, the evolutions, cheesecake photographs and illustrations celebrating women's legs, arms, and certain playful sass. So I don't know what these cheesecake, I didn't look it up, like what.
Alexa, what's a cheesecake photograph or illustration?
According to an Alexa Answers contributor, a cheesecake is an image of one or more scantily clad, sexually attractive persons, especially young women. They are also often referred to as pinups.
Wow, so
Thank you, Alexa, you actually gave a good answer. She gained notoriety in the 1950s with her long, jet black hair, beautiful, bright blue eyes, and her trademark bangs. Shy and daring, complex, contradictory, extremely intelligent, exquisitely pretty, naughty or nice, she was one pin up that no one could pin down. And she was yelling, quote, "If you take your eyes off this picture, I'll cut your guts out." Okay.
Oh my.
Coming up.
When I first met Kat, I knew you for about a year before I met you, right?
Yeah, maybe a little bit more than a year, yeah.
I didn't realize how short she was until I met her. You're like 5'4". I'm like, oh my God, little Kit Kat. Oh my Lord. Do you know that if you say to Alexa, Simon says, she has to say everything you just say. If you want Alexa to tell you off, like, Kat, shut up. Say, Alexa, Simon says.
Alexa, Simon says, go fuck yourself.
Go f*** yourself.
If you ever want to take a deep dive into our psyche, Gen X psyche, just watch The Watership Down. I remember watching this when I was like 6, 7 years old. But the bloodshed, and I'm sitting there, and I couldn't believe it was rated G. Hey there, chatters. I'm Nat.
And I'm Kat, and welcome to the Crime Chat. I am your forensic femme fatale. Natalie is your true crime-addict connoisseur.
We're just two normal girls obsessed with dark crimes, evil minds, and occasionally the unknown.
And here's a disclaimer, chatters. The following Crime Chat will contain adult content and descriptions of violent scenarios today, so your listener discretion is advised.
You've been warned. But before we get into today's Crime Chat, Kat, what have you done? No, you've done a lot. I mean, a lot has been done to you, too.
A lot has happened over the last several weeks since we recorded. We kind of got ahead last month because I had back surgery. Yes. I am recovering. I went to my post-op last week, and I'm on par with where I'm supposed to be. I just have this lovely adornment of a brace around my back. It's beautiful. I told you earlier, it's not growing pains, it's healing pains because I know my body's healing and like readjusting. One thing I don't think I had told you was one of the doctors on the surgeon's team came in to see me before I got discharged because I stayed overnight.
Right.
So he came to see me the next day, and before I got discharged, just to kind of explain how surgery went, what they did, and everything like that. He's like, well, I think I made you a little taller. But hey.
Listen, chatters. Okay. When I first met Kat, I knew you for about a year before I met you, right?
Yeah. Maybe a little bit more than a year, yeah.
I didn't realize how short she was until I met her. You're like 5'4". I'm like, oh my God, little Kit Kat. Oh my Lord.
But of course, with back issues and the compression over time, you do lose some height. Yeah. But I might have gained that height back. I could be more confident in my 5'4".
And you're the bionic Kit Kat.
So with that significant downtime that I've had, I have been binging a lot.
Okay. Yes, I bet.
So I think I told you last time School Spirits came out with the second season, and I watched that.
Okay.
It was really good. It picked up right where a lot of it makes sense. Very supernatural, very, science fiction, and I love it. We did watch another series called The Couple Next Door, and it's got lead character who's the lead character on Outlander, Sam Hogaden. Sam Hogaden. Then there's another movie that Chris and I watched called The Gorge. Alexa, who's the lead character in The Gorge?
Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy lead the Gorge's cast as Levi and Drasa, two private contractors and elite snipers who take the job to guard an undisclosed, Mysterious location.
Do you know that if you say to Alexa, Alexa, Simon says,
Mhm.
she has to say everything you just say. If you want Alexa to tell you off, like, Cat, shut up. Say, Alexa, Simon says, Cat, shut up.
Alexa,
Say
Simon says, hello, kitty.
Hello, kitty.
Alexa, Simon says, go fuck yourself.
Go yourself.
She pointed out.
Well, have you ever heard of a movie called Watership Down?
Have not.
We are definitely crafted differently. Like our generation is definitely crafted differently than other
Yeah.
generations. Maybe we're a little tougher. Maybe we're just a little crazier. I don't know. But if you ever want to take a deep dive into Gen X psyche, just watch the Watership Down. I grew up on this movie
Mhm.
and it's an animation. It's got rabbits, cat. It's
Oh.
all animation,
Oh.
but it's based on war. It's a bloody mess. And I was like, I remember watching this when I was like 6, 7 years old. It's just a bunch of rabbits like fighting for freedom and it's bloody mess. And it's all based on war.
Well, you mentioned for an intro to your story today about touching kind of on grooming. And I did have to clarify you meant sexual grooming and not like dog grooming.
Yes, yes.
And just by that clarification, it sounds like it's going to be a pretty dark story today,
Mhm.
despite all of the kitties, Hello Kitty accents that we have.
Mhm.
Well, grooming incorporates manipulative behaviors that an abuser uses to gain access to potential victims, coerce them to agree to the abuse, and reduce the chances of getting caught. It can happen either in person or online and usually employed by a family member or someone within the victim's circle of trust. This circle of trust could be like a coach, a teacher, youth group leader, or others who have a natural interaction with the victims. Abusers often observe possible victims and select them based on the ease of access to them or their perceived vulnerability. Before the term grooming was associated with grooming a child for sexual abuse, it actually had more of a meaning of mentorship, coaching, or preparing someone for leadership. From 1975 to 1985, law enforcement became increasingly aware of child sexual abuse that happened to children from outside of their family, but was still committed by those who were not strangers. So the Stranger Danger Awareness campaign at the time focused on threats of violence to ensure victims' compliance, which usually came from a stranger, you know, the man driving the white van. We've covered so many cases like this. The
Mhm.
child abduction where he's like, I'll take you, you know, I've got some bubble gum and some ice cream. Your
Yeah.
mom said you can go. I
Yeah.
watched the other thing I watched last night, but Chris and I were watching Netflix is Lost in the Fire. 2-episode documentary. She was 16 at the time. She went missing and she was adopted. So 20 something years later, the biological mom gets a letter in the mail saying, we have under record that you are the biological mom of this person. It was a closed adoption. So she didn't know where her daughter went or anything like that. And it said, your biological daughter has gone missing and we have recently found a body. Law enforcement are asking for your DNA to see if we can positively identify this person. That's how it starts.
Wow.
And there is an involvement of a serial violent offender who at one point used this method of strangers. He'd lure people in to his van or to wherever he was going. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
There's so many cases.
Yeah.
The one that we did Lolita, which is a famous case where somebody with candy was like, "Hey,
yeah.
I spoke to your mom. She said you can go with me."
Yep, exactly.
Mm.
So I hope
Yes.
that helped set you up for this, what seems to be a pretty interesting case.
Yeah, it's a dark one. This is not like any other true crime case. This is one of the most horrific and senseless crimes in Hong Kong's history, also known as the Hello Kitty murder. I've heard of it. I never dug in like this. And I'm like, oh, wow, my Lord.
How do you feel now that you did dig in?
I regret it, but I'm going to tell you the story anyway. Okay.
Well, you got to. We're here.
Well, yeah. If I have to live this trauma, so do you. On May 24th, 1999, a 14-year-old girl walked into a Hong Kong police station. She told them that she was being haunted by the ghost of a woman bound in electrical wires, blood smeared across her face, and watching her every move. She wasn't just seeing a ghost. She was being haunted because she had helped torture and murder the woman that was haunting her.